Hello and welcome to the Spinnin Backfist MMA Show for Tuesday, August 2nd. It is Robbie, Big Ev, and Jack Mac, and Lee, also in the producer chair on the ones and twos today. We are here to talk about UFC 277. We got Contender series tonight. We can talk some headlines if you guys want. Congrats to Big Ev, new contract.
Yeah.
Saw that yesterday. That's awesome. We love to hear it. Spinnin Backfist here to stay. And UFC 277, I feel like, should be the starting point for this show. Big loaded card, obviously. Amanda Nunez gets the title back. The Spinnin Backfist parlay is dead. Still positive on the year, so not.
We're clinging on that first winning streak.
Really clinging. That
Thank
first
God.
winning streak was.
Thank God we won the first.
That was a miraculous hot streak.
I think we won the first.
We hit like a plus 650.
Yeah.
That was the Abu Dhabi card actually.
Remember
If I
those?
remember correctly, we just took all the Russians.
We haven't hit a parlay since the UFC was in Abu Dhabi, maybe.
No, we hit the Michael Chandler front kick.
Oh no, you're right.
First time
Yeah.
with that cash
What a
ticket.
way to hit that one with the next.
Audio's quiet, so it must be wrong.
Bad audio.
Oh, it's the settings. Audio.
Getting it fixed right now. We appreciate the feedback.
Go to USB capture. No.
Checking. Did we fix the audio for you there?
Nick, Zach, Blood Clot, Casey Regan.
We jinxed it. Last time we said we've been so good with the tech lately.
I think that will fix it 100%.
Let us know in the chat if we're good.
Can you hear us? I think we're good now. Pretty sure we're good now. Haven't seen any comments in the chat. We're good. All right, we got 1,000 at once. That was good to see.
Love that.
That was the first mess up in a little bit.
That was.
We're good.
We were concerned about the Wi-Fi, but it looks good so far.
Looks good so far. Yeah, the screen looks good and everything for us. We were just talking about UFC 277, though. That's what we're here to talk about today. Obviously, the Contender series is on tonight as well. There's a fighter from Belmar. Shout out DJs. Shout out Jeff DJs Low, the king of Belmar this summer.
He's becoming the king of that.
He really is.
He really
He's
is.
running for mayor. He's making
He might be, yeah. He's hitting all the Parker House. He's hitting Belmar, the DJs, all of them. Yeah, of course. Is that the Sunday night staple? Sunday fun day?
They don't show any love to my favorite spot in that bar A.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of Bar A.
He's told me he's not really a fan of it.
Really?
That's a very popular spot too.
I love
People
Bar A.
told me when I was
It's
underage, you can't get in underage.
Bar A is
Don't
probably
even
fun,
try.
I would
Yeah.
imagine. I never really tried to go there when I was before 21, but it's a massive space. It's kind of like a choose your own experience.
Oh,
For me
okay.
personally, I like D-Days. I've had a lot of fun at D-Days in my younger years, but now it's a little more like D-Days. It's pretty much all inside.
Is it all like house music the whole night?
Yes, all house music.
Yeah.
For the most part, very packed.
I'm not into that.
Where Bar A is in the summer too. When I'm at a bar, I like being outside.
Yeah, I
So
love
it's
that.
all there outside. There's sand. You have a shot wheel. There's many outdoor bars, but it also has an indoor spot that has a stage. They have live music, DJs, like a rave. So you can kind of go and be in that environment when you want. But I like that you can go in for an hour, leave,
Oh, yeah.
do your thing. So I like Bar A.
The
Big
Princeton and Avalon is kind of like that. Have you been there?
fan. I don't think so.
It's kind of like it has the multiple rooms. One live music, one more of a chill bar. I don't know if it has outdoors, though.
I've heard good things about the Princeton because you walk in, it's like some more older people sitting down, relaxing. Then you go to the back and it's just a rave in the back.
People, doing Springsteen live on stage
But
and all
Princeton's
that.
the first place Jeff D. Lowe ever met, I think, Smitty.
Oh, that makes sense because when I went the one time, it was after Smitty's golf outing. We all went there.
It's a Smitty's.
Avalon's a very southern Jersey.
Yeah.
I feel like
Shout out Avalon.
the most south I go is LBI.
Yeah. I
Or
went.
AC, I guess, but AC is its own animal.
So I went all the way down to Atlantic City this weekend for Pup Punk Show. We got a show in New York City this weekend too, so check that out. Jake Paul's not fighting anymore.
Nope.
Come see Pup Punk. And then I go to Philly the next day for another concert, not one that I was playing in, just one that I wanted to go to as a fan. I said last week on the show, I'm going to leave, make it home in time for the main card. Awesome. I make it home right about the time Anthony Smith snaps his leg and that fight's over. And then I had the worst UFC 277 viewing experience of all time. I had Project X going on next to me.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
I got an Airbnb in Philly, right across from Independence Hall, right across from the Liberty Bell. It was such a nice area. It was cool. We had the parks. We walked around. It was a nice Airbnb, nice building. When I tell you, pictures were falling off our walls because the subwoofer was so insanely loud. There was probably 80 to 100 people inside this tiny Airbnb next to us, directly next to us, screaming the lyrics to every song, like screaming at the top of their lungs, to the point where while I'm watching the pay-per-view, I can't hear it. Like, I have my laptop turned up all the way it could go. Me and my girlfriend are trying to talk, but we're like screaming over the music, like we're at the party. Like, it's one of those. The entire card got to the point where the card was over. It kept going. We couldn't even like have a conversation with each other. Couldn't, let alone like, you know, I was barely blogging because I was like, I can't even like think about words right now.
Did you take a video at all?
Oh, I took multiple videos. Yeah,
I posted a selfie video.
I posted one.
Oh, okay. I saw the
from the
tweet
audio
where you said,
hear like going crazy. We called, and I never like to be the like, I'm gonna call on a party. We called down to the front desk. We're like, there's like maybe a concert going on next door. Like, there's a chance Lil Baby is next door right now performing a sold out concert. And they're like, yeah, we've heard complaints. We're going to go up and give them a final warning. So an hour passes, nothing has changed. And we're like, all right, like, have you given the final warning? They said, we gave the final warning. There's nothing we can do now. Security's left the building. It's like, oh, okay. So they're like, let the inmates run the asylum.
Security left the building?
Security just walked
I thought
out.
you called the cops at that point.
At that point, you would think.
I
like,
think it's
call
a
the
noise.
cops.
It's a noise disturbance.
It was crazy.
Of course, you don't do that. You don't want to.
Yeah, I wasn't going to call the cops.
You can't be narc.
Especially because, like, what am I going to call? Like, are they going to know that I called the cops too? I start running through that in my mind because there were so many people. I was like, these people could just attack me if they wanted to. So it hits like 3 a.m, and I said to my girlfriend, like, let's just fucking leave. Let's pack up right now and leave. We had a whole day planned the next day. I was like, I can't do this right now. We got all our luggage, and at 3 a.m, walked through this hallway. The hallway looked like it was college dorm hallway, like probably 50 people out there. Just all drinks in their hands. We got on the elevator. There's puke on the elevator.
What?
Yeah, it was. And I watched UFC 277 through all of this. So I was watching, you know, Amanda Nunez, Juliana Pena put on a classic as like, and the sounds that were coming from, I swear it was like, eat the pussy, eat the pussy, eat the pussy, eat the pussy. I swear it was all like my age, maybe a little older, like I would say up to like 30s. It was, when I tell you the biggest party in Philly, the biggest party in Philly.
You might have fucked up not going over there. Should have just like
I
knocked
might
on the door.
that some people on
just, like,
on Twitter were saying that. Yeah, people were knocking on our door. I think trying to use our bathroom because there was only one bathroom in the Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's
like,
funny.
Like, it's like an apartment door. It was an apartment complex. It was bad. But let's talk about fighting. I've gone on enough about my horrible night in Philly. Got home at 4 a.m. That was like something where I was driving, like smacking myself in the face, like, you know, Clay Guida before he gets in the octagon. His coach always fucking like hits him like crazy.
I think Michael Morales got slapped before he went in.
I was doing that, to myself. But let's talk about the card. Prelims. I missed most of the prelims. Caught the highlights on Twitter. What are the big highlights that you guys would like to talk to from the prelims?
Not to pat my own back, but I
Mays.
think we'll look back on Blood Diamond as somebody who just was not a UFC quality fighter. And Evan and I talked about it that night in a space, just about how like even his kickboxing didn't even look that good. He just was like, he would just throw these long kicks that were just like boring. They didn't really do anything. And I wasn't even. That being said, I was not impressed by Orion Casey, or however you say his name, at all.
It's Kosi, yeah.
Blood Diamond did win a round, though, so credit to him.
He's not very good. I don't think he's that good.
He got into the
and
UFC
he's also he's in his like he's like 35, 36. So it's not like he has this. It's not like he's like 22 where he's like working his way up. He maybe gets another fight because he's Adesanya's boy. I don't think he probably should. No offense. Best nickname of all time.
It's such a good nickname. Good movie.
He's just not. Yeah, great movie. He's just not very good. Like that's what we were joking about. I was like, Jack, I don't think he's a good kickboxer. I mean, he's not like he's not a terrible kickboxer, but for someone who would like you should be elite to be able to be like making this.
That's
big
like
jump.
supposed to be the reason you're there.
That's what I'm saying. Like you should be like knocking my socks off with these. With these kicks and the
almost
technicality.
Like Michael Pereira.
Exactly. Like he should look much more technical than he does.
He did like there was no point.
Like Alex Pereira was like 3-0 in the UFC.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That Alex. Yeah.
Like I was like, that's like he's unbelievable.
Like there was some points where I was looking at him. I was like, could you even knock him out if you hit him a bunch of times? There's one point at the end of the first round where he kind of hit a head kick, and Joe Rogan and I think Cormier were like
They
acting
were literally
like
combing their pants.
they were acting like it
Just,
was
like mediocre head kick.
it was like Holly Holm against Ronda.
Oh,
Like it was
God.
like you would have, and Orient didn't really even like. He was just like, oh, I like
Spinning Backfist hurt him more.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
did. There was a
People
combo
went for a
spinning
couple
back
spinning
fist.
back fists.
Like it hit it at the same time, a double spinning back fist.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
Nicolau was next, right?
Yeah. The man just keeps coming through.
I mean,
Cash.
Did you bet him?
Yeah, I did. I bet him. He was the one who hit a big line movement. Like he was plus like 130, 140, and he ended up closing a minus 130 favorite. And he looked like he was minus like 300.
Wow.
he looked really good. The other guy, like you could see why. I mean, you saw it on Dana White's Contender series. Like he has some power, but Nicolau like just doesn't get.
He doesn't get hurt. Like
He doesn't get hurt.
He's got a big time chin.
Yeah.
And he's
Because
just
even what's his name in the last fight, Kennedy, who's a much bigger guy, hit him with some big shots, and he just like that was kind of how he won that fight. He just stayed in there, and this guy, Vittoria, didn't really have much for him. I mean, his whole thing was like he was supposed to be like so much better on the feet.
yeah, he
And
wasn't.
Nicolau murdered him on the feet.
I thought
Honestly, awesome finish. He just saw he was hurt and just went for it.
How many finishes did this card have overall? Had a bunch in the main card,
1, 2,
or at least the
3, 4,
they had
three in the
3
main
to
card.
start
Five,
the main
six,
and then
card.
2 were so quick.
7.
7.
7 finishes.
Better than
Main card
London
did well.
after. you
Yeah,
know,
all finishes on the main card besides the
main.
event, which was a great fight.
yeah.
Or at least we'll talk about that.
That was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
it was
thing.
okay.
Like I got home, or I got like to the Airbnb right after, like right as the Smith fight was ending, really. And then the next 2 fights were like 50 seconds a minute. I was just like, oh, we're at the end of this card already. Damn. I was like looking forward to enjoying a full card. But yeah,
Next, I'm sick. I mentioned this on the space. Evan, I did too. I'm sick of John Edwards. She just like, I mean, she deserved to win the fight, but she was just something about her. Just the way she like gets credit for throwing stuff that doesn't land almost.
She just she uses that front kick to the body
Yeah.
as like a jab,
Yeah.
and she just kind of like flicks it out there, just like touch.
There was a very
Touch.
funny moment that John Anik was talking about Edwards and then Ji Young Kim, and John Anik was like, "There's an obvious size difference in there, specifically on the bottom half." And Jocelyn Edwards compared to Ji Young, like Jocelyn definitely has like some big legs,
yeah.
and everyone was loving that. Cormier during the Nicolau fight said, "I mean, it doesn't matter for him, but he did say his name wrong."
Oh yeah.
And Rogan laughed a little bit. He was like, you got to be careful there. And then Cormier was like, sorry. But that was pretty much the early prelims. Like,
Rogan wearing a tie again too.
yeah, but it's always comes disheveled. It's almost like he
Yeah.
doesn't want to wear it.
It's almost like he's itching at, like pulling at it.
He's like
I
a-
can't get this fucking thing off.
He's like a kid at a wedding or
Yeah.
like Easter. It's like
Yeah.
by like 30 minutes in, it's off.
Yeah, that clip I still laugh at every time. Him talking to Guy Ritchie and him just being like, "Aren't you afraid someone's gonna come up behind you and kill you?" And Guy Ritchie's like, "No, Joe, I'm not afraid of that at all."
I think one of the bigger things too, I think a lot of people were saying on Twitter, is that the floor of the UFC has gone down like a lot with some of
I
these
thought you were talking
fighters.
about the canvas for a second.
No,
the
no.
physical floor.
no, just like the floor of the fighters, because I think we could have seen like maybe like 4 of these guys like that. I don't think would be like UFC
Honestly,
ready.
I think
Well,
it's
I mean,
there's so many more cards.
That's
There's
100%
cards every
what it
weekend.
is. That's-
Yeah.
I mean, you even saw it if you watch Contender Series, the first like few seasons of it, to last year's Contender Series. Well, obviously we just saw the one from last week, but I'm saying like last season. If you pretty much won your fight, you got a shot.
Yeah.
There were guys that lost where he thought they was like the decision went the other way. There were losing fighters who literally got signed.
Yeah.
I mean, when you just do cards, he was doing cards 2 a month, and now he's doing them pretty much every weekend. You just like when you need more bodies.
I think
the
ESPN
floor is just going to
part-
be lower.
A part of that ESPN deal was I think they have to put on 35 shows a year
yeah,
or something.
they definitely
or
have
40.
like a mark they got to hit for sure.
And so also the floor thing is like that's always like hindsight's 2020. Like, oh, the NBA was
Yeah.
better in the 90s. Oh, the NBA had more stars back then. I even tweeted out.
I mean, but I don't think it's getting like it's easier to get in
Yeah,
than it was like 5 years ago. Probably.
correct. I think that's the case. Also, more
But also the
avenues
skill,
in.
but you could also argue on the back end, like over the last 5 years, the skill level is only increasing.
oh yeah, I think
So there's
the
the
ceiling
two-
is also increasing.
Yes, 100%. There's
Yeah.
2 sides to it.
It's just going like that. Yeah, it's Kind of
But-
crazy to watch the sport evolve like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think that's even that big of a like. That's kind of like nitpicking a little bit. I would say to anyone that's saying that, like,
Because you're only seeing that
What
in,
are-
like
what are
the
you-
lower level.
Yeah, like, what are
these
you gonna
big cards,
watch?
Lower level fights.
where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the. Yeah, there's like other organizations are great, but it's like
Can't
They're
make a
not-
full-time living in all of them.
yeah,
you
they're
know?
not
Like, unless you're at the
UFC.
top. If you're at the top of Bellator, PFL, something like that, all right, you could probably make a good living. If you're in the mid tier, you probably still have a job.
Also,
Yeah.
I mean, on this
Yeah.
card, I would say like, so Blood Diamond is Izzy's friend.
Yeah.
Then the guy who fought
Izzy and
Nicolau.
Volkanovski were in the front
Yeah.
row for them, and obviously Kaikar France.
Then the guy who fought Nicolau, he had an
Potato.
awesome knockout on Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah.
And then Ji Young Kim, Jocelyn Edwards, like you're always gonna have those low level women's MMA fights. Like there's some, I don't know. I like
See, I kind of like Jocelyn Edwards now. I've bet on her a few times in a row. She just keeps winning. So
She
now
does.
I just like her.
Yeah.
Ji Young Kim let herself get taken down in the third round when she was kind of like taking over a little bit. There were some 70 IQ moments. The biggest 70 IQ we'll get to is the guy that ruined our parlay.
Dontel Mays?
Yeah.
That was his
We'll
name,
get
right?
there.
Michael Morales next.
Michael fucking Morales, the boy, stud, absolute stud. And I think he's still Lee. I can't wait. I can't wait till he's like top 5.
Listen, he's good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Lee,
Top
he's
5, you think he's going to go?
He's like,
Welterweight?
he's like 22.
Yeah.
Like
He
we're
al-
talking
he
about him
already-
like he's like 30.
He already signed next deal.
Because he's a fucking
Not
the
deal,
guy he
but
fought, I think is decent. Is like pretty good.
Fuck
He's
it.
tough guy.
I thought
Tough guy.
he was definitely better than people were making.
Like I think he's a legit UFC caliber fighter. That's what I think because I think Morales is an absolute stud. Morales is a freak athlete, like one of the better like natural athletes you'll see in the UFC.
Yes. I mean, he's
Like
also
some of
Was
the
he a
shit,
wrestler before this? What
yeah,
what did he do?
Venezuelan wrestling.
Yeah.
No.
but
Or Ecuador.
his striking is very good too.
Knockout.
And
this,
he's
right?
super
Third round
long.
Knockout.
He's super long, like he's long, and I think Fugit had a pretty good chin.
I just
Like he landed some big shots on him throughout the entire fight.
DC
too.
was saying the most impressive part was he knocked him out while like kind of fading away,
He was. He is very. His arms
which is
are
a
very
great
long.
read.
he has
by-
crazy power.
His arms are long and his punches are very snappy for a kid that young. Like I feel like they're very
He's only
like,
going to get better.
just very straight. Like he throws his punches very straight, not looping.
Also, we've seen guys like that, big prospects, get into a tough fight like that and just fold. He didn't. He was like, "No, let's go."
He lost the first round.
I
He
thought
lo-
he won it,
he lost-
but
I thought he did too.
I know on the cards.
Two of the
but-
judges did give it to the other guy because he did get some takedowns, but I think Morales. I think the sky's the limit. I just think like a kid. Like my initial after watching this fight, I tweeted after I said, I can't imagine what this kid will look like when he's 28
Yeah.
if he does like the
think
right
about it,
things.
6 years.
Like
Where
that's what
does
I'm
he
saying. Like,
train now? In Venezuela still?
I'm actually not sure.
No,
where
Ecuador,
he's
he,
at.
he trains in
Ecuador.
Mexico under Entrim.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
I
say
just-
if,
that
if
was
he's
my,
with the right
like-
gym, I feel like that's
Also,
like the
it's
most important thing
Ecuador.
for
I said
someone like
Venezuela,
that.
but I was
Yes,
wrong.
Ecuador,
It's
Oh,
yes,
okay,
yes.
Ecuador.
and that's
Cheeto.
where Cheeto's from.
Yeah.
There's like 3, I think, but I just like watching him. I just was so impressed. Like every time I watch him, I'm more and more impressed.
That was a great fight. It was almost like low key fight of the night. I know it didn't get it, but
It was
Fugit's a
fun.
tough guy.
It's just I think it was more like the fight IQ, like more than anything. Like it was he showed it like really well in some points, and then he just wanted to be like a flashy, like fun guy. Like, and I feel like he like
that's something.
that's probably just the age factor,
Age, yeah.
right? Like, don't get me wrong, and he did look good. I think that line and Morales probably should have been closer because of how young.
That's
he is.
fair.
But
That's
obviously, Morales is very good, and
So
I
mine is-
don't want the UFC to rush him either.
Yeah.
No, I would agree. Minus 600, but I also think I think part of that was more them underestimating Fugit because he's been in some of these weird spots where like the guy that he had in the fight prior to this fight, he knocked out Solomon Renfro, who he was on the Contender Series last
Yes.
year and was pretty much in a fight where he was supposed to win and just get a contract. He trains with like Shane Burgos and like Mike Triziano and like Julio Arce and some of those guys and Schulman's, and he lost the decision to a guy he shouldn't have. And then he was a massive favorite to Fugit and got knocked out in like 10 seconds. So I think Fugit is much
Yeah,
better.
I also think Fugit was throwing pretty hard, man.
No, I wasn't watching him fight Morales. I was impressed. Like I was like, this is a tough guy. He's not like some.
And he
He's
showed
not
up
some bum.
what
He's
2
a
weeks
legit
notice.
Yeah.
I think so. That's why I was very impressed. I was like,
You
this
give a
guy's
short notice?
yes, and fought. I got like I said, I was gassing Morales before.
Mhm.
More impressed with him now. I think that was a tough fight that he actually showed well in until he got finished. But
Morales was supposed to fight Ramiz Brahimaj,
Yes.
which would have, I think that would have been like if he would have fought Brahimaj and looked like that against Brahimaj, we would be talking about that a lot more than I think against Fugit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brahimaj is very like submission or I don't know. He's
More of a name.
He's definitely more of a name.
We
He's
would have
been
seen
in
his
the UFC.
wrestling a lot more. Like we would have seen his grappling. and
Yeah,
wrestling
for
a lot
sure.
more.
I just think he would have been stronger than Brahimaj.
I agree.
Got a pair of decisions in a row to kick off the normal prelims. Those were the early prelims we just talked about. Jakar Close and fucking Hamdi. We talked a lot about Hamdi last week.
I thought Jakar looked good. A lot of people loved the opposite side on that, and Jakar showed up and did what he had to do. He's a decision fighter. Obviously, his last fight, he did have that nice knockout, but he's more a decision guy. I think Jakar, he called out Tony Ferguson for like, he won't get that because Tony only has massive fights.
But like respect for going for that.
And they're both from Michigan.
Well, it was something I guess he had like dissed him in a bar or something. He
Yeah.
said.
They're both from Oxnard, bitch.
That doesn't surprise me. Like
I'm from
Tony Ferguson
Oxnard,
dissing
bitch.
someone in a bar. Tony
That
Ferguson
was
with
what
his
Jer-
sunglasses on.
That was what Close said. He like went up to him in a bar or something. I guess he was like disrespectful or something.
I
don't
could
know.
see Tony Ferguson.
He didn't say the
being
full
disrespectful
story.
too.
Totally, absolutely, yeah.
All right, then Hamdi. Hamdi's the new Michael Morales, future champ. Hamdi, future champ.
What was the 70 IQ moment you're talking about?
Okay, so at that, there was multiple.
Describe it.
I think there was
Okay.
two.
No, there's one that there was
one
honestly
that's 40.
honestly there was like 20 of them.
Oh, there was a
there was
all
one
right.
that like really
So
stood out.
Hamdi won the first round.
Okay, yep.
100%.
100%. Dontel comes out in the second round. Somehow a strike. His striking looked pretty good, but his striking somehow hurt Hamdi's eye. If you look at the photos we posted of Hamdi on our Twitter,
Yep. So
his eye is like a little fucked up. It was weird. Hamdi didn't even know what was going on. It like came out of nowhere. He was like, "What's going on? I can't see."
I think he just caught with a knuckle.
And then Dontel Mays continued to he got him up against the cage, and it looked like he was going to finish him. And he was about, I would say, 3 to 4, maybe 5 to 6 really nice punches on that cage before I forgot who the ref was stopping it. And then Dontel Mays was like, "You know what? Nah, I'm gonna back up." And then Hamdi was like, "Okay." And then Hamdi kind of still couldn't figure it out. Dontel goes on to win the second round, but there's 40 seconds left. Probably still a chance that he could have finished him. Dontel Mays then dives for an ankle snatch. It was bizarre and lands
And just
up
ended up
on
on
the
his back.
bottom. And then Hamdi goes, "Okay, you know what? Third round, I'm just gonna come out and fucking take him down." Also, I haven't talked to Lee about this. Lee jinxed the bet.
What?
And then you deleted the tweet. He said it turns out Greco Egyptian wrestling is no good, and then he deletes the tweet, and then the Greco wrestling wins the third round. So that parlay loss is on you.
I
From
deleted
the
it.
spinning back.
I deleted it before the fight. I didn't do it during the fight. I did it before the fight because I tweeted it out after the Jakar Close fight was done. So then I tweeted it out. I said it was equal to being part of the Fiji baseball team.
Yep.
I mean, you might have jinxed the parlay with that one.
There was a tweet that someone posted that I can't stop thinking about. And if you watch the fight, I think it's going to resonate with both of you that saw that fight right away. Dontel Mays punching looks like there's a puppet controlling him. It looks like he's
one
not.
of those,
It looks when he's throwing punches, it looks like he's not controlling his own limbs. The way he just was he was so much longer, and he was so inaccurate. It was stunning to watch someone with 8-inch reach advantage just have was supposed to be the better striker have no ability to use it. To his
Hamdi,
advantage.
I invited Hamdi on the show. He hasn't responded.
That would
Hamdi's
be,
my king.
awkward to interview him after we talked so much shit last week, though.
No.
I
I
didn't
would
say
just say
nothing. I bet
I've
against you. I
I've
bet.
converted to Hamdi.
All right.
Hamdi is. I need Hamdi in 2 of us.
He also
At some point,
Hamdi is going to. He also is based out of New York,
Oh,
he is New York.
and he trains in Hoboken, I guess.
Okay.
Legend.
He's
Legend.
and he
Maybe
gonna
you'll
take him-
bump
I'm gonna take
into
him
him
to
on the
Green-
street or
I want
something.
to take him to Green Rock.
Yeah.
and also I was
I
thinking
bet he can slug.
if anybody wants to see, Hamdi looks like Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa was a heavyweight.
He's Jew and also Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Hamdi's Jewish, but he is a Jewish.
He's not. I think he may be offended if you said he was Jewish.
My apologies.
It's all good. No.
Also, I know the quality is bad. The video quality is bad. That's we can't really do anything about that. We're not even on Wi-Fi or anything.
It's a
We're like
StreamYard thing.
we're hardwired into the Barstool internet. It might even beat the Barstool internet.
No, it's StreamYard. Is
Oh,
usually
is it?
what is usually the issue.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Unfortunately.
Hopefully the audio is
Hopefully the audio is okay.
it's hanging in there. You know, we're
Yeah,
doing the best we
all
can. here.
praise be to AMD.
Drew Dober gets a knockout in the next fight, knockout TKO in the third round.
Really good fight.
Lightweight fight. This was Drew Dober and Raphael Alves.
Very good. Yo, Drew Dober has a legitimate crimson chin.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
The Chad chin, they called it last week. in the
I
chat.
noticed it live, and there was one clip that I saw on Twitter as well
It was a
of,
left hook.
of Alves landing a legitimate nuke, like his entire body weight into a punch left hook, and Dober just ate it.
Yeah.
It was actually
It's the
insane.
Chad chin. It's
It was unbelievable.
The
Superhuman
only
power.
guy that's ever knocked him down in the UFC is Terrence McKinney.
Yeah.
which,
And it was with a knee too, not even a
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah.
I was talking with somebody this past week about how it's like someone was on Alves, right? That's what we fought? Yeah, Alves. He was saying, I think Dober's chin is going to give out here. And I was just like, all right, I'll sit this out. I was on Fight Doesn't Go the Distance, but he was telling me that he thought Dober's chin was going to go out. And I was like, I don't know about that. I wish I stuck with my guts. One of those like, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But he really is durable. He's a guy that, I mean, he's like probably 12 now. Is he in the new rankings?
He should. I think he's right on that. I don't know if he actually even got ranked, but
I think he's on the cusp.
it's so like
It's tough
lightweight.
and
Lightweight. Think
lightweight,
about how many
I know.
lightweights like
Shit.
the Sarukians and like the Gamrots have flown up, and like so many of these young guys have
By
come
the
the other
way, everyone shits on Islam's strength of record. If you go back and look at it now, a lot of the guys that he's beaten
are now
coming
Yeah.
up.
Well, Sarukian, and then like obviously
And Dober.
and I guess Dan Hooker.
Someone was saying in the
Still
chat,
think
what
he
do you
should
think
have
about
fought somebody.
Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson?
I don't hate it.
Don't want it.
I don't hate it. Like I don't think it would be a bad fight. I just don't think that UFC is going to go that direction.
I think it makes sense right now for both of them. Such tough losses to come off of.
Like
Like,
they could give Tony like Tony could be like a Connor potential
Yeah.
fight.
fact,
Like I think they would give him.
Connor looks like almost he's slimming down. Have you seen pictures of him lately?
He's been smoking weed on his boat.
I don't know if he's like 155 slimming down, but the last picture I saw of him, he didn't look like that fucking big like Hulk.
I mean, I think if you told him his next fight would be like a title fight with Oliveira, he would cut the weight. I think.
yeah, I think he probably would too.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
But I don't know if
I'm
he'd
just
cut the
saying
weight for a fight before that.
No, I don't think he would cut the weight for a non-title fight. No.
And it's like, how do you give him a title fight if he's not willing to fight in the division
Conor
before
McGregor.
that? Yeah, fact.
That's what he just beats Chandler at like 170,
Yeah,
and then just goes down and fights for the belt.
I could see it
He'd be
happening.
like, I beat the number 4 lightweight.
Yeah,
He just went
yeah.
welterweight, but whatever.
It's like that clip of Ariel. It's like my favorite Connor clip where he's like,
Yeah,
so if you
his-
want to go to boxing, like that means you're gonna have to like get a few fights before you fight for a title, huh? And he's like, no. Alex Morono versus Semi the Jedi. My guy Semi the Jedi did not get it done. He posted a sad notes app afterwards. I follow him on Instagram. He was just like, apologies to all my fans, my friends, like sorry to let you down. Always sad when you see a fighter have to like go through that notes app apology thing.
I mean, I don't even think it's like
Really good
a
fight.
player wouldn't like after an NFL game,
Just a game,
a
yeah.
random game. But I mean, I know it's
But
a
fighting
lot
is like,
different
yeah.
fightings. I feel like he shouldn't. I get why he did it, but
It's not like
he
he got
shouldn't
knocked
feel-
out brutally. Like
No,
you
he
know.
was tough as hell.
also
His eye was.
I mean,
fucked.
he
I
almost
saw a picture. So he posted that on his story after.
He almost in that third round
The knee, crazy.
almost got him.
He was clearly down 2-0 and landed a massive knee. And Morono was literally just holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
But no, Morono looked really, really good. That was one of those classic fights where you just look at the two of them, and some of the Jedi is just like big and jacked.
Yep.
More
and
athletic.
Morono is just more athletic for sure.
Oh, how was the ponytail? Did it hold up this time?
Yeah, he had
he
it
had the
like,
he real fire shaved, like the side of it was shaved.
Good.
and then he had some braids, like
Yeah, he had the
like
braid and then
yeah.
just like a ponytail.
Hey, he looked good. He
He
looked
looked like a
cool.
warrior.
Good.
Yeah,
Glad.
it was
That's
good.
the
It was
perfect
really,
word.
it was,
Like a Jedi,
it was a
man.
good scrap. It was a good scrap. I thought some of the Jedi showed a lot of heart because he was hurt badly. His eye was really, really fucked.
He's a great fighter. I like
and
watching
he
him
came
fight.
out. He came out in the third round. He fucking he fought like he was down.
Yeah.
So he went for it.
Yeah.
and almost pulled it off. Very.
He really
impressive.
did. He came close.
Morono looked really good. Shout out to Morono.
Yeah, Morono, big one.
Good bet. If you bet him, that was a good bet because he was
Great
a
bet.
dog and he was clearly the right
And
side.
a lot
yeah.
of people were on Semmelsberger.
For sure.
I was pissed. I was really thinking about putting money on Morono late because he went all the way up to like plus 165.
Yeah,
I
it was
saw.
getting up there for sure.
Yeah, and it was like plus 135 all week. So like 30 cent differential is a good bit.
Yeah.
But man, he's really smart. I think that was the thing. Like he's wonky, he does this and that, but his fight IQ and his game plans are really, really good. I think he is gonna make when he retires, I think he's gonna be like the safe Stayud like 2.0 of that gym because he's at Fortis. So
Yeah. Magomed Ankleov. Is that how you say that?
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev, they
Ankalaev.
say,
I always say that wrong every fucking time. Versus Anthony Smith. We kind of referenced this one earlier because Anthony Smith, unfortunately, I believe it was his ankle he broke, right? He thought it was his leg.
I guess it technically wasn't broken after, but it was definitely hurt badly.
Yeah.
No.
I think it
Came
was
out last
broken.
night that it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so they had
yeah.
an initial X-ray. They said it wasn't. That was like the night of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dana.
But it was broken.
Pretty sure broken.
So Dana
ankle.
was
They put out
over-
last night.
So Dana was actually 0 for 2 on his injuries on Saturday night. He said that Juliana Pena had like bits of her forehead, like she had to go into immediate plastic surgery. But then Pena was like, "Oh, that's not true."
Oh.
And then she said, "No, Anthony Smith didn't break his leg. I don't know what he's talking about." And then
Broken ankle. I saw it
Okameda-
on MMA Island last
but
night.
maybe, yeah, shout out MMA Island. But maybe at the time the X-ray in the arena
Yeah.
didn't
Okay,
show
maybe.
it. That could be it because I know they don't have the best
Even
of
if it's
X-rays
like if
there.
it's a hairline fracture and then like
Yeah.
you get better equipment and you're like, oh fuck.
But
there it is.
Okamoto last night tweeted out that he broke his leg.
It wasn't like it. Listen, he didn't go down like instantly.
No, it
So
wasn't like
wasn't-
Anderson
He fought
Silva like
through
Conor
it for like a
McGregor.
round
Yeah.
and a half,
Like so, it wasn't like
or for like a round. I'll say he fought through.
Well,
it almost
not like
full
a
round.
compound
Ex-
fracture or whatever they
correct.
call it. Yeah.
like, it wasn't. I'm not gonna say it.
No, because
I'm not gonna say
he
it wasn't
literally
that bad.
he came to the corner on the in between the first round. He was like, ice my ankle like
Yeah.
that right now.
yeah.
And you saw the way he was walking funny on it. I got to be honest. At this same price, I'd bet Anthony Smith again. I swear to God.
He was looking good
Until
he hurt.
I thought it looked pretty fucking even. It was very early. It was pretty even. Anklev was Jack smirking at me. He was
wasn't
not minus
650.
600 when he was healthy. For the first like 2-3 minutes of the fight, it was very like even. They were going back and forth. Not a ton had happened. I'm not going to sit here and say Smith definitely would have won.
It did feel like for that
But at,
first
plus,
3
at
minutes.
plus like 470, it closed that. I'm taking Smith again plus 470. Ankle was not minus like 600, I thought, until because he really, when he knocked him out, it was just his leg just like gave out and he just ground the
There's
pound
nothing
like
you
a
could do at
hurt
that
fighter.
point. Yeah.
Well, see, what's up with Ankalaev?
Yo, Leah, why don't you suck my dick? The fuck are you talking about? I love betting losers because they're plus money. No, use your eyes. You ever gamble for, buddy? Pal?
So next
That was a close fight. Plus 470. That's the right side.
Ankalaev.
100%.
value.
It's called
Ankalaev.
value.
Ankalaev. The chat's rattling us right now. Ankalaev, chat
It's
10-9.
fucking Syrian.
I'll pronounce anything wrong.
Yeah, like I'm sorry when I'm pronouncing Russian names.
I'll pronounce
correctly
John
all the
Smith
time.
wrong.
Doherty.
Ankalaev, next for him is, I mean, it really depends, right? Like, would you give him Jan?
Yes.
And then run back Yuri Glover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then that would be a great Jan Ankalaev would be great.
I assume Jan is like ready to go.
But
Yeah, I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
take any damage at his fight. And that fight was like almost a few months ago.
Yeah.
That was March.
I mean,
It's the one that makes sense. Like,
run that back at MSG.
I don't think
or not run it back. but do
Neither
it
of
at
them, in
MSG.
my opinion, were impressive enough to just like vault themselves clearly number one contender.
Pantoja versus Perez.
I would say
flyweight
Ankalaev number
division.
one contender. Though.
I would put him over Jan. No, I would, but I'm saying they both
given circumstances.
John more than
Okay,
Ahmed.
that's fair. That's fair.
One on like a flukish injury, like literally a non-contact injury.
Yeah.
Who?
Jan.
Blachowicz.
Oh,
Literally,
yeah.
it was literally
Sorry,
non-contact.
sorry,
He just
sorry,
blew
sorry.
his knee out.
Pantoja versus Perez. This one was like, we talked about this being, I said potential fight of the night written all over this, but Pantoja was like, no, we're not getting into worse tonight. I'm just going to win this fight as quickly as humanly possible.
He was on a fucking mission.
I mean, literally like ran towards him to start the fight, hit him with a couple shots, grabbed his back, choked him out in a minute.
No, it was probably the most impressive performance.
Tough for
to be
Perez. He
honest.
hasn't fought in what, like almost 2 years.
And the last time he fought, literally the same thing.
Yeah.
He got subbed very quickly.
It made me quit fighting.
I bit on that. I bit on the Perez line late in the week. Obviously, a regrettable bet. But yeah, Pantoja looked great, man. I mean, Perez, I want to see more from, of course, but Pantoja, great call out after too.
Yeah. I mean, he's
fired up the
he's
whole
beat-
night. He was
he's
like,
beat-
Yeah, he was really
beating
fired up.
Morono.
Yeah.
I think Pantoja is somebody who's sitting there not with a title shot, and I think he legitimately believes I'm better than these guys.
yeah,
He's
almost
lost
like a
he's
Juliana
lost-
Pena, like
he's
years
beat
before
Morono.
she got her shot.
I like Figgy. Figgy's interesting because Figgy, like all those fights are interesting because they all have good grappling. Like they all are good at grappling. They're all, well, I guess they're two Brazilians and a Mexican, but
That flyweight division, Daniel Cormier was talking about it. He's like, I got my 125ers in the gym, and I tell them, like, you better be twice as good as I was if you're hopping into that
It's
division
true.
right now.
it really is true.
Yeah, he was talking about. He's like, I have all these wrestlers.
Yeah,
And he's like, they're all like, when can I go to the UFC? When can I go to
he
the
was
UFC?
like, you ain't ready.
You ain't ready. That was a great moment from
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
He was like, I have all these guys at AKA. They're like, when can I go? When can I go?
DC also we posted a couple clips. Such a great interview with Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
He had so many moments from that where when he was like, I spoke to Ronda Rousey last week, and Derek Lewis was just like under his breath, like, did she ask about me? And he's like, no, she didn't ask about you. He's like, why are you saying that? And speaking of Derek Lewis, this poor guy, he just can't get a win in Texas. That's three
This
in a row
one-
now. This one sucked too because the stoppage sucked.
I did. It's one of those. So I'm about in the spaces after with Jack. I think it was bad stoppage. I want to give him just a little. I understand how someone falling face forward.
I get
You
that.
can
too.
make a quick movement, but I think with big heavyweights like that, they hit hard. I think I let him. Like he didn't let him even take one ground and pound shot,
Yeah, let him take one
and
like
he
that.
jumped up really fast.
Yeah.
really, really fast.
He didn't
and
like,
was so with it too. Didn't look like he
100%.
was even like
he was like good. He was good.
he was like,
he was
come
good.
on, man.
wasn't
Are you kidding
stumbling
me?
around.
No,
Yeah,
not whatsoever.
no.
Stood up, feet were
He
firmly
just looked
planted.
disappointed. Like he,
He
was
just was
so
like-
like his
he was like,
emotions
come
were
on,
so
man.
clear.
Yeah, he definitely got hit, but a guy like Derek Lewis, he could get up and land one brick. and
Oh,
it's over.
exactly,
Like, it's just
exactly.
like that.
100%.
3 in a row in Texas. He's
Sucks.
lost
It
now.
really sucks. I think that's a fight he definitely is capable of winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something I wanted to
I mean,
see later.
like
later
Sergey
rounds.
did look great.
Oh,
To
no
start the
doubt,
fight,
no
too.
doubt. It's not his
He
fault. The
came
guy's-
out and I was like,
He came out.
okay.
I mean, dropped him with a big,
yeah.
hurt him with a big shot, then dropped him with a big shot, and they called it off. It's not his
Also,
Yeah.
Sergey.
tough break.
Also, Sergey is just, man, he's built. Like,
He's a
he's
big
just
boy.
like,
Yeah.
he's built
huge.
like a Greek statue.
Tall.
He's tall. He's just like, it doesn't seem like he's like Poey or anything.
he's like this. He's just he's
yeah.
like square. He's got
Yeah.
those big square.
Which sometimes
shoulders.
isn't great though, because like more muscle means more lactic acid build, as Joe Rogan likes to point out all the time. But I think he's a guy that's, I mean, I don't think he has any, I mean, it would have to be a hell of a step up for him to ever get into title contention, but he's like, he's pretty good.
Heavyweights is one of those weird things where, like we've seen Tuivasa.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Like who would have ever thought
How
Tuivasa
fast
would
he
be
No
round
one-
number 3?
Yeah.
I agree
And
with you.
shit just happens like that.
I agree with you 100%.
very weird too. I don't know who either. Well, more Pavlovich, but I don't know who Pavlovich would fight next. Lewis fighting somebody next, like it's a little wonky. Like you already beat Dawkins, who's number 10, and then Volkov apparently has a fight at UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi, so I think he's booked. And then you got like Rosenstrike.
That's who I was gonna say. That fight makes sense. I mean, it should end in like 30 seconds. Though.
I would hope so.
It either ends in 30 seconds or it goes the distance and they just don't touch each other.
You could,
Yeah.
yeah, you can make that fight at this point. Yeah.
But I think that's honestly the name I had in mind for him was Rosenstruck.
I wonder who Volkov has, because Volkov already like does he get like Dawkins? Like
Maybe.
I don't hate that. I mean,
it's weird.
heavyweight's a weird division where like there's even the people that are like 5 to 10 right now. I don't really see like the people that are in that like 5 to 10 range. I don't think they're real like true title
No,
contenders.
Aspinall. It's
Besides him, yeah, I would
it's like
agree.
Francis to Aspinall are all like a clear cut.
Yep.
Ahead of
Like
everybody.
like say, like
step
when you
up.
take like him, like Gon, like Blades, Aspinall. There's like even Tuivasa. We'll see. I mean, he could easily Gon can make him not look like that.
Yeah.
He's going to be a massive underdog.
The co-main event for the interim flyweight championship, Brandon Moreno had a rematch against Kai Kara France. Got the finish via liver kick in the 3rd round, and it was, as DC said, the toe that got him. He
Yeah.
kept saying, it was the toe. It was the toe.
It was a
what? Knocked out
nasty
via toe.
liver kick.
It was nasty.
Nasty.
And did you see the video of Volkanovski and Adesanya reacting to it?
Yes.
They were just like deflated in their
Oh.
chair. Like they couldn't believe it. But this
What
was a
did you
great
have
fight
it
for as long
scored?
as it lasted.
I thought it was 2-0 Moreno.
Me
It was
too.
close.
But
Yeah.
I was shocked to see that score. I thought it was 2-0 Moreno, and I thought Kai was winning the third round
Yeah.
until that point.
Moreno was
That's
split
what I
open
thought.
bad. It was in a good spot in terms of blood wasn't going into his eye or anything, but like his cheek looked rough too. It was like a quick fight, but it was a quick war. It was a good
He
one.
landed. I think that was he landed. I want to say it was a massive elbow. on the
Elbow,
ground
yeah.
Yep.
That he landed that. It
Yep.
was a huge. You saw it split him open immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The striking numbers on UFC stats were way closer than what I thought they were going to be. Like Kai won like the first on the significant strikes. Like Kai won the first round like 10-7 apparently, and then Moreno was up 1 in the second, and then Moreno was up 6 in the third. But like that,
That's interesting.
it was like 10 significant strikes on the ground after he landed that liver kick.
Yeah.
So,
Because I thought the first round, I didn't think it was like I thought they were close-ish, but I thought Moreno was a little more in control.
I thought Moreno
I
for
thought-
sure won round 1,
Yep.
and then 2 is a toss up.
Two was
Two
For
is
sure.
really close, but I thought for sure Moreno won 1. So at worst it was 1-1. All 3 judges had it differently on
Nuts.
the
Yeah,
scorecards.
yeah.
They literally 2-0,
That's
1-1, and 2-0 the other
MMA
way.
judging, yeah.
Insane.
Texas judging.
Could have been some wild
True,
score. If they got
true.
to the final, what a wild scorecard that would have been.
Yeah. And then the main event, or we could actually talk about the post fight too, because he called out Figueiredo, but not like called him out. I expected when he was like, are we gonna have to see a 4th fight? He's like, where's Davison? And I was like, oh shit, he's gonna bring him in. He's gonna call him out. He called him in to be like, I respect you. I have nothing against you. But I want to fight, of course, but let's
My
let
daughter's
bygones be
watching.
bygones.
I,
Yeah,
he's like,
it
I
was
want
like-
to be role model. Like,
yeah, I was like, all right, all
set an
right.
example for my kids.
Respect. Yeah, you big nerd.
Yeah, he could have done that so much better.
I wish he was just like,
He's
where's
just not-
Davison? I'm coming
he's
for
just
you.
not that
Like,
kind of guy.
Man,
yeah.
Because even the lead up to the last fight, he was like, Davison was trying to act all hard and shit and do whatever, and he was like, why you do this, man? Like, I know you're a nice guy.
yeah.
He's like, I know you're a nice guy. Like, we talk.
Imagine he goes
He's like,
full.
He's like, I
full
beat you last
Lesnar.
time. You're very nice to me after.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a funny guy. I love Moreno.
Yeah.
Nice, just a genuinely nice guy.
He
He
looked
is
way
really
better. He
nice.
looked like he could step up with James Krause.
Definitely.
I'll tell you too.
Kraus like told him to do the kick too. Did you see the
Yeah.
video he posted?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, it was like a left hook into the kick. And he was like, told him that right before that round. And then he went out and just did it.
Also, I want to say this too. I don't know if you guys noticed this, which maybe he looked the same in the third fight, and I just didn't catch it as much. He had such a similar face that I thought he had in the second fight when he walked out to the second Figueiredo fight that he did for this fight.
Yeah.
Like he just had this very like gamer, just like super intense, super locked in mentality. Because I bet on Moreno, and I remember watching him walk out, and I was like, "Oh, Moreno's got this shit."
yeah.
I just felt like good energy, good vibes with him. Like he just had this very super intense, very focused, like just ready to be the champ again.
Yeah. And then the main event, Juliana Pena defends her title against Amanda Nunez, unsuccessfully defends her title because this was pretty dominant. I mean, there were moments of the fight where it was like, oh my God, is she going to get that arm bar? And she would not quit. Almost reminded me of like Volkanovski versus Ortega in a way. In that, like, it
Fair.
was a dominant like performance on one end, but there were moments where it made that high main event drama. I actually thought it was like a great fight because of that. Like seeing Juliana power through, seeing her come off the stool, like ready to fight every round, seeing her corner tell her flat out, like, you're losing this fight. You need to finish at this point. Like, I like that stuff. So I thought this was like a super memorable fight as far as Amanda Nunez's whole resume.
Yeah.
I think it was like very, very rare fights where it was a great fight, but also incredibly lopsided.
Yes.
It's very rare that happens. I think Ortega Volkanovski was like a good example of that.
Yeah.
And I thought this was kind of similar where
That armbar when
the
she
one
was
in the fourth
screaming,
round,
like,
I thought she was going to get it for a
Yeah.
second.
that would have been insane.
And there was this weird thing. I bet on Pena, and there was this weird thing where even though I was watching her get dominated, there was never a second where I was like, she's done.
No.
The entire time was like, she could do
After she
something,
got
like, you don't
dropped
know.
3 times as brutally as she did and kept getting up and kept throwing bombs and kept looking for submissions off her back, like, you take those 3 knockdowns, like, you're good.
The clip of her like after, and then Amanda's just like backing up, and
that
then
was
just letting
tough.
it-
Yeah.
But I mean, that just goes to show
That was almost Forrest Griffin Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Of like, do, think
it's
you're down.
But no, yeah. Credit to Amanda. She showed up. She shut up everybody.
Yep.
including me.
No doubt.
She made it everyone who questioned her motivation and whatnot. She showed up, and she's like, without a doubt, the GOAT. What she did here was, I was really impressed. Her cardio was amazing. Looked like she could have kept going for
Both
another.
girls, to be honest.
Yeah, oh yeah, we knew Juliana's was going to be great, but Amanda's, it was called in, and maybe she was right. It wasn't excuses.
COVID.
The COVID and then the knee injury, and maybe she was just a little bit off.
Yep.
That and Pena. That's not to take away from Pena's victory that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to see it for a third time?
Yeah, I'm down.
Not immediately.
Not yet. It doesn't have to be immediately, but it was, yeah. There were those moments where it's like, is she going to win? Where it's like, that does kind of make me crave a third fight.
I was a little less gung-ho in the third fight just because I thought this fight proved me if Amanda just comes correct, she'll win pretty much every time.
Agreed.
I get it.
Unless she just gets caught in something random, which she, like, in another scenario, she could have. But I thought watching them fight and that both come prepared, I feel like Amanda wins, like,
9 times out of 10.
I was going to say 8. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So
probably
did
9,
her
yeah.
eye blow up from the headbutt, or was
I don't know, because she got cut open.
There was a lot
bad
of- there was a lot of
times.
talk
There was the
about that.
one elbow that she got hit with too that cut her
Are you
hairline.
saying Nunez? Or
He was saying
Nunez.
he was talking about Nunez.
yeah.
because I posted on Spinning Backfist, and we were like, oh, it's rare that a 50-44, 50-43 fight, the fighter won looks like this. And it wasn't to mean any disrespect. It was just to show how great of a fight it was. People were like, oh, that was the headbutt. That was the headbutt. I thought the headbutt was more like forehead to forehead. And it cut open Juliana, but it doesn't even matter.
Nasty.
It's
The
like
middle of her forehead. She had the one.
She
that
looked
was
sick, though.
gross.
Some sick photos from that fight.
Yeah. I used the
one
one
in her
as the
hairline
thumbnail
was
because it was
crazy.
just nuts.
Upset of the night, Amanda Nunez name dropping Michael Irvin at the end. And she was like, I was born in 88. I fight in Dallas, and 88's Michael Irvin. Like, I thought, and she was like, I'm 34 now, and Michael Irvin won a Super Bowl at 34. So it was awesome. I was like, wait a second. Did Amanda Nunez just name drop Michael Irvin? Because, I mean, maybe she's into football. Who knows?
At first, I thought she said somebody else.
Me too. I was like,
took me a minute to be like, I was like, Michael. I was like, oh, Michael, we're in Dallas. Michael Irvin. I was like, huh. I was like, what an interesting call out. But I guess, yeah.
Enjoyable
Shut up,
main
Michael
card
Irvin.
though. I would say overall, like the main event, very entertaining. Co-main event, very entertaining. Great finish in that one. The crazy finish in the Pantoja fight. Unfortunate circumstance in the Derek Lewis fight, but it's like it had the people talking on Twitter and stuff. So I thought it was actually a pretty good card.
So who would you guys want to see Nunez fight next?
I mean, Vieira.
I wouldn't mind Vieira. I
Yeah.
want
Well, I mean, who do I want her to fight next?
I want
Kayla.
Shevchenko, but
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I guess that's signed by the UFC.
I saw
would
people
agree with you,
saying
but-
do Pena Holly Holm.
okay.
not after the loss.
I kind of think Pena, if she comes correct, would run through her. At this point,
Yeah,
in
probably.
Holmes'
I
career.
think she probably would.
It would
too.
be a good fight, though. Good fight night card.
Yeah.
I like when I said that, everyone just went.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
like-
like everyone just took a deep
It's
breath.
like 40-year-old Holly Holm is like still like doing this. and,
Yeah.
like, but like not the level that she used to. It's just like, could it work? Yeah. Do we really want to see it? No.
Yeah.
I would. I guess I would say like Shevchenko.
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing.
They've already fought twice, obviously.
Shevchenko
But
comes up. and
Shev-
we'll see if she
Shev
can do
would
it
be-
now.
I mean, I would be.
It'd be a
That's
super
the
fight.
outside of Kayla and Amanda.
Because even the,
The
last
best
time
fight
they
I
fought,
think I
like,
could ever think of. for
neither of
women's
them were
MMA.
nearly in the position they are now.
And the second fight's kind of controversial.
yeah,
I know it was great. Obviously, she's not signed by the UFC either. Which I know obviously the first fight was just disgustingly lopsided.
But they could do it again.
Would you want to see Cyborg
Yeah.
and Nunez run it back?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
I know it was in
honestly,
like,
yeah,
as lopsided as a fight you might ever see, but
yeah, I'd watch that.
But I think like
she also just hurt her early.
she was,
so
yeah,
it's-
and I think
they were
Amanda
swinging
was
so
like-
wildly, like
Amanda was like
that was her most like
Jordan
killer mode.
prime,
Yeah.
like LeBron prime. It was just like she was gonna come there. It didn't matter who she was going up against.
This man said home dominates Pena. Syrian, I'm
that's
starting to.
crazy.
You're such a dickhead. I kind of like you.
I think he's.
Everybody in the chat tonight is just dickheads. The
No,
body
Syrian's been
count,
going nuts. I kind of like you.
the body count combined of these three is probably 9. Thank you. At least we've had sex.
Yeah.
And then
Nah,
Jack
that's
Mack was
3
still
each. That's pretty good.
smelling his buddy's fingers in college. I don't know what that. Oh, I get it because like my buddies fought,
They were in pussy. Yeah.
but I
They were
wasn't.
finger-
Gotcha.
they were
You were
finger
just
banging
giving
chicks.
it the smell. Yeah, to live vicariously through.
Yo,
them.
shout out Sup with it.
Speaking of
I mean,
living,
Syrian, I said she was in Bellator, guy. You need to relax. You need to calm down.
Home
I obviously we interviewed her in person. You ever interview her, buddy? Chill out.
I know. Yeah, we know her.
Oh,
Okay,
they
personal
think we
friend.
Follows me
don't
on
know
Twitter, actually, no big deal.
this.
Like I said, she's in Bellator. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was interested to my MMA friends. Would that be a fight you'd be interested in seeing again?
And the answer
Because
is yes.
Nunez knocked
By the
out
way,
Joe
you
Bishop.
called us casuals. You got to give us some breaks. Like we forgot.
Yeah, bro, we're casuals, bro. I didn't know she was in Bellator.
Yeah. They can fight each other, right?
Contender series tonight. The guy from Belmar, you bet on.
Yeah,
you
I
said
did.
you bet
Shout
on
out
it before you even
Francis
knew he
Marshall.
was from
Yeah, I
Belmar.
did the classic topology research.
Yep.
The guy
Is he in the main
fighting-
event tonight or no?
Actually, I think the first fight, I believe.
He is the
Okay.
first fight, I think.
It's the 8 p.m. fight. The guy who's fighting, I forget it's Matthews. I think his name is.
Connor Matthews.
He's like they're both 5-0.
Yo, we got our first
A
first
spam
porn bot in the chat. That's big. That means we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at
Doing
my
shit.
stories. I'm so embarrassed.
Naked
Sometimes I
eight.
just comment one of those on the Barstool Instagram.
But yeah, they're both 5-0. I did the classic topology research where you just look at the records of their opponents. I watched a little film on the Marshall guy. I found out he's from Belmar, and he trains out of Belmar, whatever, in Jersey. He looks pretty good. I thought his strength of record, you could say, was much better than Matthews.
Well, Matthews, did you see our tweet?
Maybe not.
Matthews fought a guy who is 16 and 105.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And this guy's a legend.
Jay
16 and 105.
Jay Ellis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jay Ellis has
Tapology
fought-
legend. Yeah.
Has fought Colby Covington.
Yep.
I think Anthony Pettis. He beat Gerald Mearshart in 2007.
So it's just wild swings in like weight as
Yeah.
I guess this guy just like if somebody bows out and
He's
these
in.
they like call up Jay Ellis. He's like the fixer.
Dude,
And he's like
116 losses. How do you not like have like severe brain
he's been
damage?
submitted 69 times.
Nice.
So that's, I mean, if there's a way to lose a fight, that's, I mean, the least amount of damage.
Jay Ellis.
As they run towards you, are you just like, submit me? Please.
Man, just down for a check.
There's
Yes.
probably guys out there who've gotten into that many bar fights. I know it's
For sure.
different,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think
yeah.
bar fights are almost like more dangerous.
No, definitely.
Because
It's
at
absolutely
least in
more
refs, at least in like a MMA fight, it's like kind of a soft landing. No one's gonna fucking kick you in your head
And also, like,
unless it's risen.
if someone's on top of you, just beating the shit out of you,
Someone's
like, the
gonna
ref
pull
is
you
like
up.
pulling you off. Bar fight, like, you might just like sit there till you die.
Somebody actually tweeted at us that Jay Ellis, they fought Jay Ellis once.
In a bar?
No,
Or
in
they
a
actually
MMA,
did?
and the guy was like,
No, it was Joe Giannotti. He was
Joe
from,
Giannotti, yeah.
he lost in the final to Triziano of Ultimate Fighter. I want to say it was 27.
And he tweeted at us?
Yeah, I'll
he
show you right now.
responded to it like, I fought that guy like his like I think he said one of his first few fights and he beat him. His
Wow.
first few pro fights.
And he said,
So he fought him prior to going on the Ultimate
I'm one
Fighter.
of the thousands to
I
fight
beat
Jay.
this dude in my third or fourth pro fight. Nobody wanted it at 55, so I went up to 70 and fought him. Guy rolled a nice J afterwards.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah, I could see
He had a
that.
nice joint after.
Maybe that's his thing. He'll fight people because he just loves to fight, and after every loss, he's like, let's smoke a J together. It'd be kind of
Why
nice.
not?
So Jay, shout out Jay Ellis. I guess he fights in the Cage Titans, which
Okay, yeah.
is the place that wanted to send us beer.
Would love that. Yeah, I think they're in Boston, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's where Connor Matthews fights out of
I
Massachusetts.
think Calvin Cater like helps run that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or
I think
could be
so.
a different promotion, but I'm pretty sure it's that one.
Yeah,
I remember a former Barstool employee that's name rhymes with Marid Marabas went to one of their events and took a picture with Calvin, and Calvin was in a suit and everything, which made him look like almost like the Dana White of that thing.
Hell yeah.
Maybe we'll go to an event one day. That'd be fun. A little trip
I'd
up
be down.
to Boston. I'd like to go to like a regional MMA event, see what that's like
For
with
sure.
you guys.
I'd love
That'd be
to.
fun. See some crazy knockouts like that.
You guys thinking Contender series like they all finish inside the distance tonight?
I was
No-
thinking, like, are we
yeah.
going to see actual better performances because
I
Dana
think
White
so.
gave the speech?
I think so.
Like,
I also
people
think
way more like,
I think the fights, the little research that I have done, I need to do a little bit more. They seem to be more type fights where someone would get finished. Like they seem to be a
Cage
little more.
Titans tweeted, "We tolerate zero Jay Ellis disrespect with this photo." He looks in good shape.
Respect, yeah.
I mean,
Jay Ellis is loved in Plymouth, Massachusetts, apparently.
I mean,
So-
he's got a lot of wins. He's got a lot of losses.
16 wins over
but 16
a
wins?
17-year career.
Yeah.
So 16 wins. What was it, like 109 losses? Or something?
5.
105. Excuse me.
He's got 16 more professional MMA wins than I do. So,
Then all was combined.
yeah, in fact, yeah. He's got
He
what?
would for sure. He would,
14 more than Dylan Danis.
he would for
I'd watch
sure.
that fight.
He would for sure beat me up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For
No,
sure.
All three of us.
I
at the same
want,
time.
I want a Jay Ellis wing in the UFC Hall of Fame. Like, but the
Never
only
say
other
never.
thing, shout out Molly for
Top 15.
top 15.
Top 15 Molly McCann.
Oh, yeah.
Now I wanted to. So Dana obviously last week hyped everyone up about Dana White's Contender Series. Do we just parlay? Fight doesn't go to distance on every single one.
I literally have this up right now. So it would be there's two of them that we have like methods and like fight doesn't go on. There's two fights. So those two fights, which are Marshall versus Matthews and Goff Smotrisky. Both of those to not go to distance, and then Cortez Acosta to win, and then Shannon Ross to win, parlayed together plus 205.
205.
It's,
Like
it's minus 295, minus 295.
I
minus
do like a
500, minus
Ross
240.
Cortez parlay. I didn't really have a feel on Goff Smortisky. I was gonna talk to some people about those two, and then I'm definitely on Francis Marshall. Have to, and then the bot's
Warren
back.
bots.
And then Charlie Campbell, Chris Duncan. Did you ever read on that?
So Duncan, I actually watched. He was in the last year's Contender Series. He was a pretty sizable favorite. Got knocked out by the boy Schlav. Raya's guy, the Russian guy, who's like a really good kickboxer.
Yeah.
He got grapple fucked by Diakase
Yep.
on the Columbus card. It was,
Oh,
but he had a couple of good finishes. I know he knocked out Dakota Bush with a body shot. He might have. I'm trying to remember if that was his only win in the UFC, or he might have had one more that he won. Either or, Duncan was a big favorite and was actually doing pretty well until Borshev landed a nasty left hook and just knocked him out. He's a
Slava Claus?
no, Duncan. Oh no, Slavik
Yeah.
knocked him out in last year's Contender Series.
The guy in the second fight looks like fat Davison Figueroa. Here, if I can, I don't know how to do this, but it's a Brazilian dude, like has the same face and has blonde hair. So it looks like
I'm actually excited to watch tonight, like because I do think because of the speech, like maybe it'll be a great
You
card.
got to sell out. Like it's Contender Series, got to
Yeah.
sell out.
Swing for the fences on the Contender Series tonight. If you're watching this, if you're a fighter on the Contender Series, please get a crazy cartwheel kick finish. That's what, or spinning back fist, and then shout us out in the post fight. Like people go, shout out to my boy Skinny Betts. Shout out to spinning back
That's
fist.
for the paycheck. Yeah, hell yeah.
You get
Why
Paying
is
people to
Cherry
do
and
that.
Daugherty think Islam and Charles is the stupidest fight in the history?
Yeah.
That's
I think he's
wild.
just, I don't think he thinks anything he's right. I think he's just a troll.
I think I kind of like him now.
Question for Big
I
F:
was-
Oliveira or Islam? And then who's next for Charles if he does win? McGregor, just so Lee has to pay some random guy on the train. How
Some
much?
guy's
Was
gonna
it?
show up at the office. at
$6,000.
Yeah, you owe me
Okay.
$6,000.
Yeah. All right. Go
I
ahead.
know. I guess I don't know. I'm. It's almost tough for me to mentally. I'm just gonna be rooting for.
They both suck.
I'm just gonna be rooting.
This
for
guy's an
Oliveira.
unreal troll.
I think I like Doherty. I'm such a Charles fan that I know I'm gonna be rooting for him, and I know that I'm just gonna bet on him, even though there's a good chance he'll lose.
I saw.
I think he has as good a chance to win, or I'll say a better chance to win than anybody else in the division.
I was watching.
I think he poses the biggest threat to Islam. Is the point I'm trying to
I was watching the highlight of Islam getting knocked out. He didn't get knocked out, but it was like a KO / TKO.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was 2016, 6 years ago, but I don't know. I
Drop
think
to the big
Charles
shot.
could do that.
That's the one thing I keep saying. Charles can crack. That's I think the more underrated part of
I
this
mean,
game.
that card's going to be
That was
disgusting,
the
man.
first thing that Gaethje said to him when they stood up. He was like, "You hit hard as fuck."
Yeah.
Like he was like, he basically said, "You hit harder than anyone that's ever hit me." Is pretty much what he said.
And think about it. He's been through some
He's
fucking
fought some
wars.
pretty hard hitters. Like I think Charles is very live dog in that fight.
And we'll try to fix. Sorry about the Wi-Fi. Next time, I'm gonna
Tweet Pete.
I'm gonna go through
Or maybe
with the tech
Streamer.
guys. I think maybe you know what it may. We'll figure it out. But sorry guys about that. But at least the audio was good. And then subscribe, like 90 of you,
course.
94.
Like
Thanks.
the video, leave a comment afterwards.
Oh,
maybe your favorite pick on the
Shout out
Contender
Hot
Series or
Boys.
something.
Sup with it. I think sup with it in Cheery and
I like
Doherty.
stuff with it too.
I think they're the same person.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I think they're
It's the same
two
person. They're
tabs.
arguing with themselves.
The only thing
in
is
the chat.
YouTube doesn't let you have two different. Oh, you could have different browsers.
Or you have one on your
Windows.
phone.
Yeah.
It is the same person.
Sup with it. You're a casual. Oh, okay. Cheer in and sup with it. Come back next time. We love the.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Leave
you
all
won me over.
Yeah,
I started talking shit to you. Now I'm a fan.
Leave all what you said in the chat in the comments.
Yes.
Just flood the comments.
after the video's
Go
done.
ape shit in the comments.
And then tell all your friends, man, you got to check out this casual.
Spinnin Backfist casual hour.
Call me. Say I'm a casual. Say I'm a gigantic pussy.
We'll be the podcast of casuals.
Virgin casuals.
Do you know how many casuals there are?
No, we've had sex
thousands of
3 times.
casuals.
No,
Three times each.
This table's
If we
had sex
split- if we
9
split it
times.
up evenly.
Total.
Evenly.
Not with 9 women, or men, just 9 period, like 9 physical.
Well, I
times.
think they said body count. Not
Bodies. They said
Okay.
bodies.
which does
Which is
imply
such a
nine.
disrespectful
Well,
thing
I
to
mean,
say.
Yeah, but you get one, you don't get another shot.
Yeah.
Thank you for the compliment.
All right. See you guys on Thursday.